Hello again, YouTubers. This is your Hindsight Physical Media Obsessive once again with a new video. Today I thought I'd take a different approach to my collection. As you've come to know, I will do with each video. I'm just going to take a facet of over the 20, 30 years of collecting and the thousands of titles I've accumulated. Hence the name. Doing this all in hindsight of what I've actually done. Today, I'm going to take a look at those titles in which I had to cross borders to get for a number of reasons. Non-U.S. releases, for one reason or another. I looked it up and I did not realize I had so many titles to cover. Roughly 10% of my entire collection, Blu-ray collection, is foreign. So, without further ado, here we go. I'm going to get right at it. Going to do this in alphabetical order, make things easier. With a short explanation as to why I may have crossed borders to get the particular title. So, starting off, we have got Daniel Craig's 007 collection. 3 titles, Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. As you can tell, I took the, what was previously a U.S. Cover, UK'd it up because the UK titles came in a box with 3 discs or 3 cases. And there was no need for 3 cases. Just, 1 case, 3 discs within, saved me some space. The reason I got the UK version was because some editing that was done on the U.S. version for extended violence that the UK did not cut. I believe that was the Casino Royale scene in the bathroom, I believe, with 007's first kill. Next up, I wish more people had seen this movie. This is a very rare disc, supposedly very expensive. 13th Warrior. This is a story of Muslim character Antonio Banderas fighting amongst Vikings against an unknown enemy. This is from France. To this day, I do not think it is available in the U.S. in Blu-ray. Next, American Psycho. I think there's some additional bonus features not found in the U.S. release. Next, we have Angel Heart. Not sure whether this is available in the U.S. yet in the Blu-ray format. I had this in DVD. The UK has recently come up with a 4K remastered, in which this is available both as a 4K release and a remastered Blu-ray. I simply got the remastered Blu-ray. Comes with a fabulous booklet inside. That was an added bonus there. Next, we've got Avatar, Titanic, 3Ds collection, all in one. This you've seen already. My Avengers Endgame that I had UK'd up, simply because all my discs within are UK. What you see here is the back of the 3D disc that I have attached to it. I mean, everything still applies to it. So, I mean, why not? It's more accurate in explaining exactly what I've got here. Also seen previously is my Avengers Infinity War from Korea. Bad Boys. Let's see. Bad Boys 1 and 2. Got this because there was no possible way in the U.S., at least at the time, in which they combined Bad Boys 1 and 2. This, I believe, was from Finland. Got a good price for it. This is well in advance of the third movie that came out. So at the time, this was it. The Bank Job. Good heist movie. I enjoyed it a lot. The reason why I went to the UK version is because I had the US version previously, and it suffered from disc rot. You know, you hear about it and you read about it, and I probably still have instances of it that I don't know in my collection. But the U.S. version of this came up with the dreaded disc rot. So, in case you were wondering, disc rot is real, folks. And I just got this UK as a replacement. Bastille Day. This is a Idris Elba vehicle. I think it's called something else in the U.S., The Take. I was just interested in what a Idris Elba vehicle looks like. Not bad. Not particularly remarkable. But there you go. This is an Australian release. Ben-Hur from the UK. Box set. The Big Blue. This is early Luc Besson. Early what's my man's name? Renee. I can't remember his last name, but I fell in love with this movie, and if I get the opportunity to 4K, I probably will somewhere down the line. This is a UK release. This is previously mentioned Black Panther from Korea. Previously mentioned Blade Runner from the UK. Captain America, the Winter Soldier. This is my only 4K that I went overseas to purchase. As I explained in an earlier video, simply because I preferred the cover here. Got Cat People, recent re-release from the UK. Dances with Wolves from Germany. Bought this from Germany because it had all the cuts, the super long cut, as well as the theatrical release, which was long enough in itself already. Devil Wears Prada, UK release. Um, Not sure what drove me to get this one. I think it's some sort of superior, video coding or something, because I don't think there's any differences in the bonuses. Die Hard. Legacy Collection from Australia. I got this simply because at the time, it was the only way to get Die Hard 4. I forgot what it's called here. With the original, unedited, Yippee-Ki-Yay MF. U.S. releases did not have that at the time that I got this. This was very expensive when I bought this. It wasn't until years later that you could buy the U.S. version that had the unedited voiceover to it. And I think you could, if you wanted to go overboard, there was the Yakatomo edition that had the unedited version as well. Next, Don't Look Now from the UK. Has a few bonus features not found in the U.S. release. Downfall. A unique day in the life of Hitler. One of his last days. Very good, underrated movie. I recommend this highly. The Hunt, UK release. Have not seen this yet. Bought this on the strength of the plot alone. Cancel culture of a guy falsely accused. I need to see that sometime. I've got the Fast and Furious collection here from the UK. It says 4-film collection. I've gone ahead and I've packed 7 of the movies into this. One of these cases is a 4-disc case. The second one, a 3-disc case. I've got them all in here. I'm going to address that in the artwork of the cases itself. But I've got it all right here from the UK. Next, Final Destination. This is my favorite horror franchise, and I'm not a horror guy. I was so taken with these movies that I jumped on the opportunity to buy this collection here, which did not exist in the U.S. at the time. It wasn't until several years later that they came up with, the U.S. came up with the 5-disc collection of its own. This, I believe, from Australia. Flesh and Blood. Very naughty, very explicit medieval adventure here that you're not going to find in the U.S. I think it has been released here, but I don't think it goes into the bonuses found in this particular movie. This is basically a digibook, 3-disc edition of Flesh and Blood with Rutger Hauer and Jennifer Jason Leigh, who got together on several movies back in the day. All of them eye-opening. Foreigner from Canada with Jackie Chan. in a serious role. This is a good movie. Not enough people paid attention to it, but this is not the first time Jackie Chan has tried to go serious. Um, the name of the other movie escapes me, but The Foreigner here is a very good movie in itself. Recommend it highly. Gene Hackman, French Connection, and French Connection 2. Got this UK release simply because the US did not have a release that put both of them together. Another Canadian release along the lines of The Foreigner is The Ghost Rider with Ewan McGregor and Pierce Brosnan. Very good movie. I like this movie. Mid-level movie that'll keep you entertained throughout. The woman from Sex and the City, her name escapes me. Kim Cattrall. There you go. If you look closely enough to her filmography, she does some stuff that matters. Especially on the international scene, more so than on the U.S. scene. Godzilla and Kong. Brought this up in the previous video. This is a release from India. This has the 4K and the 3D in-house. I have to say, and I failed to say this earlier regarding this movie, Godzilla vs. Kong. Again, with Ambulance, this is one of the first movies that really felt that it was post-COVID. The production was there, the full-on production was there. It was a joy to watch, and you truly got the sense that, movies were back. Hotel Mumbai. This is a Canadian release. I got this simply because the artwork, the U.S. version, for obvious reasons, concentrated on, Army Hammer on its cover, which, given his predicament that I guess they would come to regret through no fault of his own. But Hotel Mumbai, the movie itself, excellent. Period, point blank. Excellent. Dev Patel, this actor here, quite the filmography. If you sit back and check it out, dude's done some work. From Germany, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla, the precursor to the the showdowns. A few years later, Jackie Brown, from Canada. I love this presentation. Love the movie. But I hold on to this because it's a beautiful, beautiful package. Same thing was done with Pulp Fiction, and we'll get to that in a minute. But it comes in a box case with a not a digibook, but a digipack. But the artwork itself, look, you're not going to get that anywhere else. You're just not going to get it. And I will be hard pressed to upgrade from this to, to 4K. That pretty much is my present dilemma with the Pulp Fiction, which we'll get to when we'll get to the P's. What else we got here? One moment. Jurassic Park trilogy from the UK. Can't remember whatever particular reason I got this for. There you have it. Cape Fear, the original, and the over the top remake with De Niro and Nick Nolte. Both of them are here. Both of them are fine movies. Both of these, the bad guys are just, batshit crazy. Just bad guys that just need to go. So this is the only way to get both movies in one shot. This again was from Germany. I wish they'd make a whole lot more twofers, with the original movie and with the remakes. LA Confidential from Canada. Note this on the spine. All right, this was not a full size Blu-ray that I cut down to. Why can I get this to focus? But this is not a full-size Blu-ray that I cut down to fit the slim cases. This was actually as it was coming out of Canada in a box set. And as you can tell, or maybe you can't, the spine is a lot harder to read. I just as soon as take the regular cases and cut them up, as opposed to selling for this, in which it's already printed with the slim size. So there's that. I'm going to have to get a little bit better at my camera work. I do apologize. Lady Killers from the UK. If you love this movie, like I do, you're going to want the best instance of it. And it's this one right here. Last Night from Canada. Some casting gripes, The inclusiveness gets a little crazy, but the story itself is great. Last Seduction from the UK. Lethal Weapon Collection from the UK. Don't know why I bought this one in particular, because you could get the same thing here in the US, I do believe. Lion from Australia. Margin Call from Canada. Let me tell you something. This movie is the best Wall Street movie ever. It is smart as all get out. Highest recommendation for this particular movie. Check this one out. Next, moving things over. Match Point. Woody Allen flick. And as you probably already know, the U.S. market is pretty much, gone cold on Woody Allen. Even after all these years. This is an excellent, I don't know if it's underrated or underserved. I don't know what the case is, but this is a great movie with Scarlett Johansson in it, which I believe she was in a couple Woody Allen movies. Next, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I'll go on to say that this is the only title in which I have 2 Blu-rays for. And my OCD will not allow me to combine them into one. I have this French version because it has the unedited scenes. The crazy, love-hate, chemistry between these two and the makeout session, among the guns and the shooting and all that. It goes full tilt in the French version and edited in the U.S. version. At the same time, the U.S. version has bonus features that I think is crucial, to the entire package. And so I have to have these two coexist. So there's your case of I have 2 Blu-rays of one movie, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No Way Out. Got this from Germany. It's the exact same movie as I think Shout came out with a couple years ago, at like a tenth of the cost. So that's why I have the German version of this great movie. Old Boy from the UK. Payback from the UK. Reason I've got this, there are 2 versions to this particular movie. Substantially different from one another. Director's cut is a complete redo, almost, of the movie. Don't think you can find this anywhere in the U.S. So if you're sitting there with a copy of Payback thinking you've got the movie as it was supposed to be, according to the director, you do not. You need to take a look at that director's cut. It's a different movie altogether. Here we go. The Pianist. Roman Polanski. Another director the U.S. audience has gone cold on. Big time. But this is a movie. You can see I have some ripping there. Canadian. Oh, actually, is this Canadian or you? No, this is UK. This is a great epic movie of a pianist during the World War, just trying to get by, with only his skills to help get him, his next meal and a place to live. By all means, check this movie out. And here's the aforementioned Pulp Fiction from Canada that I have with the box and the digipack inside. Here's a look at the digipack and inside. Let's see. Excuse me. Yeah. And I'm having a hard time deciding whether to go 4K from that because I don't want inconsistency between my Jackie Brown and my Pulp Fiction. If I do one, I got to do both. So it may be a while before I make a move on these movies. Next, quiz show from Australia. Never released in the U.S. Robert Redford movie. This is top tier stuff. Don't know why it's not made for the U.S. audience here as a release. Maybe the anti-Semitism that underlies, the story in this. As I understand, this too comes at a pretty penny. But here you go, quiz show from Australia. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves from Australia. Ultimate Edition. Comes with 2 cuts in the movie. Primary reason why I got this. Most of your releases in the U.S. only has a single cut of the movie. Rush. Modern classic. If you want to know the truth. This comes from, I believe this is my Canadian release that I've got here. Not sure exactly what drove me to get this as opposed to a regular U.S. release. But there you have it. All right. Double bill, Samsara and Baraka. Arguably, visually, the best looking Blu-rays possible. And indeed, it is stunning to look at. But you might want to tap the brakes on the best ever in the format. But got it out of curiosity to check it out. They said it was the best. I've got it as a very, very good, but still spellbinding stuff either way. Never mind the multi-poo. Benny, thank you. All right. Next is Silent Running. This movie made me cry as a kid when I first saw it. One thing you're going to find that any movie that made me cry as a kid is in my collection now. And I'm a grown-ass man now. So so in watching this movie, it's still a great movie. I mean, that's why it's being remade so many times from Eureka in the UK. Someone to Watch Over Me, UK release. I got this mainly because I believe it's directed by Ridley Scott. That was its draw to me. Splice, from Canada. This movie was uncomfortable. If you like interspecies sex at its most uncomfortable, this is your movie. The less I say, the better. Strange Days. Very underrated movie. From James Cameron's wife, I believe, did this movie. Very cool case with the landscape back. Fun fact regarding this movie, um, there's a sound bite from this movie that's very popular from Angela Bassett. Um, I don't have much of it's not singing, but if you recall the right here, right now, right here, right now, and the club song, that is Angela Bassett from this movie, Strange Days. I got The Thing, two movie box set. You know, do not sleep on the precursor to The Thing. Of course, the original Thing is greatness. The precursor, not bad. You know, you can mention both of them in the same sentence as far as their level of greatness. Thirst. This is a Korean movie by, issued through the UK. You want sexy vampires? This is your sexy vampire movie. Training Day. I got this the same time I got LA Confidential, and so this was set to be a thin case because it came in a thin case originally, and I really hate that I cannot zoom in on the spine. I don't know what I'm not doing here, but again, the print on this is very hard to read when it's stacked in with the other movies. There you go. I had it for a flash. But, yeah, I like the full-size cases cut down as opposed to those that they printed out to be slim cases. Trance from Canada. To tell you the truth, haven't seen this one yet. But look at the cast. You know, good stuff. If you know, James McAvoy, Vincent Cassel, French actor, and you got your Rosario Dawson, an eclectic mix. Have yet to watch this though. Transformers, 3 movies. I think this is the only way to get 3 movies at one time at the point I purchased it. John Carpenter's Vampires, French. There was no U.S. equivalent when I purchased this, so that is why I have this here. I think there is one now. All right, Arrow Video's Waterworld, which, as you recall, is a full-out production, book and movie. Like I said, I usually don't get these type of things with all that swag attached to it, but there you go. The Way Back. Very interesting movie. This I got from Canada. Produced by National Geographic. I think this is the only venture of National Geographic into filmmaking. And if you watch the movie, I mean, it's all encompassing. The geography, cartography in it. I mean, it spans an entire continent. So it is awesome to look at as well as follow as a movie of escapees from I believe a Siberian prison. I think they took refuge in Tibet, I believe, is where they ultimately ended up at. Um, Wimbledon, very nice romantic comedy. Yes, I do romantic comedies on occasion. Um, in which the actual tennis by the actors, not bad. Um, as I understand, Paul Bettany, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, who went on to be the Vision. Uh, I believe he was a top shelf tennis player, in his youth, and it shows. All right, Z for Zachariah. Um, haven't seen this yet. This is another one in which I looked at the cast uh, between the three here. Uh, the Chet Wittell, Ejiofor, um, Margot Robbie, and Chris Pine. Took a look at the three of them and said to myself, surely this movie can't suck. And it doesn't suck. All right, it does not suck. But I was expecting a little bit more. And Zulu, old school epic. This is a great looking movie. I swear to you, I don't think 4K can improve upon this movie here. It is just simply clean and stunning in such a way I don't think you can improve upon. I'd be interested to see whether this ever comes out as a 4K. So that does it for most of my releases. The only thing I have left, and I'm about to grab them now, are some kid stuff, and I have a few Arrow flicks. Bear with me. All right, kid time. All right. I've got Paddington 1 and 2. I love these movies. They're so cute. But this is German. They gave me the only opportunity to pack it all into one, which I appreciated. This, Jungle Book, 2 movies. This is a situation in which they came in a box set. The UK loves its box sets, and oversized cases. Cut down the box, made it fit into the case here, and so that is how I've got these 2 movies in a regular case. Same thing with Ralph Breaks the Internet and Wreck-It Ralph. Got the 2 of them in one shot. Took the box, broke it down, made a single case of it. I enjoy both these movies. My daughters do as well. Got the Avengers animated series. The best Marvel animated show ever, as far as I'm concerned. And I believe the Canadians are the only ones that put them to Blu-ray. So, 2 seasons of it. So I got both of them. The rest of my regular international movies are basically 3D versions of the MCU. Thor Ragnarok. Conscientious decision to go 3D as opposed to 4K. This is an awesome 3D movie. Same decision was made with the original Doctor Strange. I went 3D as opposed to 4K. And you got to go for the UK for that. Same with Ant-Man. awesome 3D as opposed to 4K. And last but not least, I jimmied that together for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 and 2. 3D it up, baby. So that's 3D in the MCU. That what I would have otherwise 4K'd. Last but not least is some Arrow videos that I have. Stand by. Starting with Last American Version. Well, I'm tell you what, this movie hit me hard when I was a kid. The advent of the red pill begins with this movie. So, there you go, from the UK. Bound. I'm sure everybody knows about that movie. Sexy lesbian caper, whatnot. Arrow. Thief. James Caan. Michael Mann movie. One of the lesser known and underrated Michael Mann flicks. Not politically correct at all. So, have the stomach for it if you want to watch this movie. Got Ronin on Arrow. Robert De Niro. Invasions of the Body Snatchers. Also from Arrow. This is one of those movies in which I wish they had both the original and the remake, and I do think this has been remade once or two times after this movie, which I believe this is like 76. True Romance, Tony Scott flick, Arrow title. And last but not least, King of New York, also an Arrow, one of the few 80s titles that I have here. So that is it for my international blues. As you can tell, I have no problems, jumping the pond to get a movie if I have to. And of course, all my players, multi-region, multi-zone players. So I have no problem there. But yeah, what do you think? Please like and comment below. Please subscribe. Trying to get a conversation going, and it seems to be a hard thing to do, but I will press on. So there you go. Have a nice day.